Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the On the Gun Line podcast channel. Today, I'll be reviewing a video by Nikki MGTV called Marine Boot Camp Faces Drastic Integration Requirements. So, shout out to Nikki MGTV because of your content, I'm able to make content. And because of that, I'm going to go ahead and give you a salute, and because I'm a 13 banger, a cannon blast. Man, that's a sweet fucking sound right there, and just listen to that. So shout out Nikki MGTV. You get 2 cannon salute today. I appreciate you. And this one I have a feeling is gonna break out the vet bro in me because because of the integration portion of it. All right. As many of you know, I am a firm believer that male and females should be separate when it comes to combat roles and military roles. But nonetheless, I'm no longer in the military, so it's not my worry anymore. You know what I mean? However, I do have children, and I hope that they're in a military that doesn't just put them on there for a dog and pony show or a societal or social experiment. But anywho, with that being said, I'm pretty sure I probably lost a couple of y'all already. But let's go ahead and get this shit going. All right. Hey, check it out. If this is your first time here, do me a quick solid and slap that subscribe button. And then there's going to be a notification bell. Just go ahead and hit the all so you know when I drop some new content. It's either going to be the podcast that I drop on Tuesdays, uh, the word on the streets, which I do on Wednesdays now, or it's going to be something like this, which is the Vet Bro Reaction, which is provided to you by Nikki MGTV. And also, I might drop another one tomorrow regarding some retiree recall, which I'm not no Nostradamus, but I know I talked about this a while back ago that with everything that's going on with the recruiting issues and whatnot, that when would it be time for them to call back the retirees? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if we have enough time, we'll do it on this one. If not, I'll drop it for tomorrow, for Friday. Anywho, with that being said, let's go ahead and get this bad boy started. Once again, if you do want to be on the podcast and do an interview, shoot the shit with me, hit me up, man, on the gunline at gmail.com. All right. And I would be glad to have you on here. As a matter of fact, this week I had a former sailor who came on here and, he gave us his story as well as telling us about I hate to use this damn phrase, but toxic environment that he was in. And so if any of you have stories similar or want to chime into what he was saying, let me know, man, on the gunline at gmail.com. Hit me up there. Whether, you want to talk about it, or whether you want to type about it. You know what I'm saying? Either way, I'd be glad to have you on here. If you do want to support the channel, though, do me a favor. Just either like, subscribe, comment, and share. All right. Those are the biggest ways you can help this channel grow, because that's what helps me get pushed out into the algorithms. All right. Without further ado, I've been talking for 4 minutes. Let's get this bad boy started. And here we go. Already shots fired.
Just having to think is too much damn work for you.
Hi, sir.
Uh-oh, he's asking me a question. Brain has to work, so I'll slow down. God, run! Run!
The Marine Corps, one of the most elite fighting forces. that you would see, and you would not be mistaken, as where a lot of people have said that this is one of the last token true stances of what it means to be a war fighter in this century. However, it looks like there are some people that are saying this is a critical function, that women must be integrated in every aspect of Marine Corps training, starting from boot camp. And we must not forget that this first was initiated only several years ago, where they had allowed drill instructors to come over to the West Coast, over to San Diego, where their boot camp training was at. And then on top of that, they had only said that they were going to still have these platoons that were going to be separated. And I even covered on this channel where it was shown that a dependent of a drill instructor, her husband, that was over at MCRD, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego.
Before he says it, let me guess. He beat guts.
Was actually sleeping with one of the new drill instructors that was female, and a lot of people were saying this was exactly
I
what would
called it.
happen. And obviously,
And this is why I'm a vet bro, because I hold the position that when there are male and females together, biology and science is gonna kick in. All right. They're gonna wanna bump uglies, y'all. And yeah. How do you know this? How do you know what's gonna happen, Danny? Or D'Lo the vet bro? Or D'Lo? Or Lolo, as my first sergeant used to call me? Because we had a FET attached to us on in one of my units, and within this FET, there was a female and one of our soldiers who ended up hooking up together. And yep, beating guts and all that. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, for those who don't know what a FET is, it's a female engagement team that, Jesus Christ, there were only 3 of them, and they seemed like they were at each other's throats. You know, the NCO, Ranger Reba, and the other one. I'm not gonna say their names, but yeah, dude. Anywho, moving on. How did I know they were gonna beat guts? It happens. It's male and females, y'all.
I say that when an inch is given, a mile will be taken, from everything I've ever witnessed, usually in this case. But it looks like that Congress and other people are now wanting women to be implemented into every aspect of Marine Corps training. Let's see what they have to say. There was a Pentagon committee that released this report, which I will go over actually in more depth. There are 300 pages. I will cover what the Military Times has chosen to pick out from this, but I'm going to do a whole separate.
Hey, shout out Nikki G once again, because my boy, you be reading all that stuff, not this dude. So just for that, you get another cannon blast. Not this dude here.
Video series on this, because there are several other things that were missed if you were able to read all 300 pages, and this is just one part. And this is the Defense Advisory Committee on Women in the Services. And they say that they are wanting to maximizing integration at the platoon level, develops the foundation of a successfully integrated force, according to the report. The report noted that gender integration at the platoon level is quotations critical to dismantling negative stereotypes and fostering positive inclusion across an organization. They say training separated by gender appears to have unintentional consequences, to include perpetuating feelings that men are superior to women and.
Okay, do I really need to state the obvious here? Do I really need to state the obvious here? Come on, y'all. We all know that it's the truth. All right. The truth is that men are superior to women in physical aspects. All right. It's just a fucking fact. It's just a fucking fact. And I know a lot of y'all are gonna be out there, you know, like, how could you say something like that? You're such a vet, bro, you know? And honestly, all I have to say to that is shut the fuck up. You know it's the truth. Yeah, is there an exception every here and there of those broads out there that can handle this shit and do it? Yes. But why are we making all these changes for that very, very minute amount of people? Anyway.
Promoting fear and suspicion of women, according to the report. I will say that this is something that is across the board, not whether you're in the military, outside the military, whatever.
Retired.
This is something that's continued to be an issue. And I don't think the military or the Marine Corps is going to be the science experiment that will eliminate this type of thing, especially when you're talking about even in a workforce, that's what we'll call this, a workforce where it's only single digits that women represent. So
Didn't I just say that? Didn't I just say that? We're making all these fucking changes for the very minute. It's fucking stupid. And what ends up happening? Families get destroyed, broads get pregnant, mission readiness fails. It's an all over fuck up.
So to try and push this is great, but I'm going to say you might as well start in places where, I don't know, there's the 40%, 45% women versus how many men are there. That's just something I would say is probably a little bit easier from that standpoint.
That's too much common
They
sense.
say,
there.
however, the committee feels more integration is necessary to better prepare male and female recruits as they become Marines to operate within an integrated operational force and to better align the Marine Corps with its service counterparts. I will say that if these ideas were so great, the Marine Corps was creating up with certain ideas of discipline, fighting force, lethality, things like that, you would see some of those push over on the ebbs and flows, but we're not seeing that. We are only seeing ideas like this cross over into the Marine Corps. So a lot of people are saying that this is degrading the Marine Corps for what it actually stands and kind of this ideology that they are a fighting force that is lethal and that they're going to eliminate whatever enemy is in front of them. The report said that using segregated platoons reduced the opportunity for recruits to develop mutual respect and cohesion for one another during the formative training process. I will tell you that I was actually in the Navy in an integrated platoon or division. You know, some people are different branches. That we essentially were only training together. When there's a training evolution, we were together. I don't think, honestly, it did anything that made me remember that I was with them. I don't think it added any value per se that I can think about. I can't even remember any of the people that I was with, their names that were female. So, I
Look, I'll say this. All right. I'm going to drop my 2 cents. When I was in Fort Sill going through OSUD back in 04, all right, it was bad enough seeing some of the weak fellas, you know, falling out. But at least they weren't bitching and crying. You put females in the mix with us, there's going to be a lot of bitches crying and bitching. All right. And I know I'm going to get hell for calling them bitches or whatever, but the ones that whine and complain, and that's what they are to me. Okay. Same as the males. You whine and complain and bitch about things. Guess what? You's a bitch. It is what it is. All right. Wipe that sand out of your vagina. Pick up your rug. Charlie Mike, let's go. I don't really see any reasoning at all aside from it being political to even do this type of shit. But no, we got to make it all inclusive. It's just fucking retarded. Why, if you're gonna do that, you know what? Go ahead, keep on talking, Nikki.
I will say from my anecdotal experience that it was really not any better than just doing training however the training was going to be done. And I'm not saying that just be contrary to whatever the, I'd say, normative ideology of this is. It's just me sitting here telling you the blatant truth from my own experience. They say we have established a tried and true manner by which we train Marines that proves effective in transforming young Americans, Walker said. We break down their individuality and grow them up as a team. We're adamant about that outcome. Having the platoon model is absolutely part of that. And this is where I will say that, like, if somebody hates women or somebody has certain beliefs of this, I do not think 13 weeks at MCRD San Diego or Paris Island is going to be the make or break of that. I will say,
Bro, 100% on what he just said. Nikki, you are 100% because that's up there with the whole, end racism on the end zones. It's not, if somebody is already with the mentality that they hate women and this and that, or I'll do the whole end racism. If you're racist already, looking at an end zone that says end racism is not going to just automatically trigger the mind. Like, you know what? I never thought about it like that. I'm glad that we had a touchdown that highlighted that end zone that said end racism. You know, it's not going to happen like that, yo. And people that are like that, they're just like that already. I thought, I look at my sisters in the service as my sisters regardless, all right? whether I agree or disagree with it, with them being in combat arms, that's nor here nor there. As long as they're held to the same standard, I don't give a shit. But my personal feelings on it is that, yeah, they shouldn't be in there because, again, it doesn't bring anything new to the table. It's Look, man, I don't know why people are afraid to say it, that women are just physically weaker than men, and we'd have to pick up the slack for them. And for those that do make it through, all right, now we got to make fucking certain accommodations for them, and that shit ain't cool, man. There's biological things that occur within the females, and I know that females have proven me wrong already with them being out in the field and doing what they got to do. However, at the end of the day, they probably would have served better as an MP. I'm just saying. All right, let's go.
Say it may nudge the needle a little bit, but if you have Timmy that is from Mississippi and his parents were like, get in the kitchen, cook sandwiches and make my food and run this household while I go get the bacon or get the bread to bring it back home, he may only believe in that. And those people are probably more influential in their lives than a drill instructor and things like that. I'm not saying that they can't be influential. I'm just saying that I don't think this will necessarily be the thing that's going to move the needle, that women are now just seen as equals across the board.
Right.
And what they're saying is that the current model of how this is broken down, where there are platoons that are all female and then they're all males, that because that they are broken down by platoons that make up a company, that most of the time they are not doing any training together. They are just in the same company together, but not actually integrating and mingling and things like that.
Right.
Recruits in integrated companies do not have the opportunity to build strong bonds, respect, and cohesion with their opposite gender counterparts, according to the report. And they say the community.
Look, they'll get that respect and all that shit and bond afterwards. All right. Once they earn their Eagle, Globe, and Anchor, or they earn their title Marine, they can go ahead and respect each other all they want. While they're training, they need to be fucking focused on training. All right. And again, you're only as strong as your weakest link when it comes down to boot camp. And again, physically, women are weaker.
Believes mixed gender drill instructor teams are essential to providing recruits training and mentorship from opposite gender role models as they prepare to enter an integrated operational environment, according to the report. And it says having gender assigned drill instructor teams hinders female drill instructors' ability to train recruits and promote to higher positions of leadership and creates unnecessary challenges for personal staffing. They say the committee believes the Marine Corps current integrated company model with gender separate platoons does not meet a true definition of integration nor the intent of congressional legislation, according to the report.
Congress, check this out. We're not your social fucking experiment. Why are you trying to reinvent the fucking wheel? For many generations, there have been female Marines that have served proudly, distinctly, and enjoyed the title of a woman Marine, And I don't understand what the fucking why. Okay, you know what? Put them in the same fucking if we're gonna be truly equal, shave their heads bald. Shave their heads bald. All right? Same standards for everything. Everything? Everything. Put them in the same standards. But let's start with the same fucking bald hair, same nails, same everything. All right? I don't want no fucking special treatment. It's so fucking retarded, man.
And really, what I think a lot of people are scared about with this is that the fact that there are several different standards based on age, gender, and things like that. Now, I will say that the Marine Corps is very established in this ideology of rank structure and things like that, where I don't believe that just by putting a female in charge of them, that that's going to make them any better, more disciplined as a fighting
Mhm.
force. I'd say, if anything, I still think no matter what, it's still been proven how many decades before this that there were junior service members that could follow a female service member. I don't think that this is
Mhm.
just the necessity. I would say if there is manning issues that are out there, I could understand that being a fighting case for this, as they can move bodies around a little bit more simply than just saying, oh, females stay with females. I do get that as being one of the positives from this situation. But I am not the biggest critic of this. There's people across social media that are talking about this in much more detail than I am, and they have a lot of concerns. And
And
that
I'm
is
talking about it
because
a lot
Ranger
less.
Tough 666 says unless they establish one standard based on realistic expectations for the
Exactly.
individual MOS, this is not going to work. Title
Exactly.
Flux says identical PT standards are required for this to work. And this did come from some rebuttal of female Marines that actually came out, and there were a lot of people backing this person as well. And they had to say this. My anxiety underscore has plants says, as a female former Marine, I say about D time. Boot camp was the only segregated experience in my military career. When I went through Marine combat training, it was an integrated platoon. In MCT for body hardening training, I was paired with a male because there weren't any females my size, 5'10". Both of my schools, A and C, were integrated. I was one of two females in each set of classes. We had a month in between classes, and we spent that time advancing our MMA skills, or I'll say MICMAB. That part taught me there are very different kinds of sore losers, especially when it comes to a physical competition between sexes. In my humble opinion, men need to start working alongside females from the start of military service onward. In my service, I came across many brothers who didn't behave like we were the same team. I feel those individuals are the ones that have a harder time reintegrating into civilian society because they've spent too many years being a part of a quotations rough man's world, reality bubble, and have no idea how to conduct themselves appropriately. I know other females may not have felt the same, but for every ounce of effort one of my male counterparts gave, I had to give too. I had to stay at the top of my game physically
So
and
tired
mentally.
of that
No
fucking
mistakes ever
bullshit.
because your reputation would go back to zero among your peers. Constantly had to punch my ticket to stay in the boys' club. I'm rather proud today that at 40, after 15 years of being out of the military, I still fit my service uniform, still pass the PFT. Really, the biggest motivation to stay true is all that S talk that went on during my service and that continues to go on about females in the service. I'll be D if I turn into the globulous anger trolls you usually see male Marines turn into after their service has concluded. I can tell you guys that I'm not a female, so I cannot.
I'll tell you, you know what? All that stuff that you read, bro. This is what I have to say about her.
That's amazing. You said a whole truckload of words that had no meaning. That's amazing.
That's all I had to say. That's all I had to say.
You said a whole truckload of words that had no meaning.
So go ahead, pimp. That not you, Nikki, but to the
identify
sandwich
with
maker.
a lot of the problems that come with that.
I'm
but
kidding.
I will say that this integration type thing that's going on, I do believe that there's going to be a lot of resistance within the Marine Corps because there was resistance already back in the early 2020s that we noted that the Marine Corps was establishing females going across over into the San Diego territory there. So, and I have to also ask, like, what point of this do we say that, like, these men that are in boot camp have moms, sisters, cousins, whatever else, right? They were growing up through school with women in their classroom. I don't think that the 13-week course, whether they're integrated, not integrated, or whatever else, is the make or break. I will continue to say that because we'd like to say that these are monumental changes that are going on, but I don't think that they are. And I do know that there are people that are out there that are going to say that these women and men together are going to create distractions, which very well could. Hormones are flying. I've seen a lot of entry-level people into the military where those distractions do take up a lot of time and space. And people do get in trouble in boot camp over at Navy boot camp, Air Force, whatever else, because of those things. Also, on top of that, how would that affect readiness or war fighting or whatever if somebody were to get pregnant, and those types of distractions
Holy
as well.
shit.
And not to mention other distractions that have been known to occur as well between drill instructors to recruit, or recruit division commanders to recruit, or whatever branch you're a part of, where even that power difference can create relationships that are unduly familiar. So let me know what you guys think about this, because that's where the conversation continues. As always, if you guys like what I cover here on the channel, make sure to hit me up over on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.
All right, deuces. And again, shout out to the homie here, Nikki MGTV. Again, y'all go check him out if y'all don't know him. And dude, it's 100%, 100% what I was talking about. Everything that he mentioned at the end is exactly what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Again, I know someone personally who was affected. I knew a couple of people who were personally affected by this having them in the units. All right, having females in the unit. And look, I get it. The argument is like, well, they've always been there. We've had them in supply, which are attached to our batteries. We've had them in the S shops. Got it. But they're in a whole different area and not within our MOS or within our jobs. So I'm talking now about our job specific. And on the gun line, if you have a female within the section and, she ends up hooking up with somebody, and I've seen it. I've actually seen them on here. I had one dude who replied to one of my or commented on one of these videos where the AG is now his wife, and more power to them. But again, I put the whole what if, what if they would have had a breakup? What if it would have ended badly? That's going to break up the cohesion of that section because they were in the same section, not even in the same platoon, y'all. Same section. All right. That would have fucked things up right there. It's kind of like why they frown upon having relationships in the workforce out here in the civilian sector. All right. So all you're doing is you're inviting ants to a picnic. All right. That's all I'm saying, dog. And anyway, that's going to be my 2 cents for this. And if y'all agree with me or disagree with me, let me know in the comments. Hey, I will stand 10 toes on this topic that females should not be in combat MOSs and females should not be training alongside males. All right. We have physical demands that are much higher for us than for females. All right. And the last thing I want to see is because a female is falling out because her fucking vagina hurts, I don't want to see her getting special treatment. Meanwhile, my motherfucking asshole is over here struggling. You know what I'm saying? And trying to keep up. So I'm just saying it, as a lot of people say, make it make sense. All right. Anywho, that's gonna be your vet bro reaction here today. Marine Corps, you're that final fucking stronghold. You're our 300 over in Thermopylae. Hold that line, y'all. Hold that line. Don't let them break you. And I'll catch y'all next time on the gun line. Deuces, y'all. Another vet bro reaction completed. Deuces.